In summer of 2015, I started having thyroid problems. When I was at my worst, I lost 30 pounds in 3 weeks. I was super sick and very, very mentally unstable. My body was severely out of balance, and I started on medication to help compensate for my thyroid being hyperactive that September. My doctor then put me on way too much medication, and I gained 60 pounds in 3 months. My body experienced a fluctuation of 90 pounds in 4 months. And I went from needing to buy a whole new wardrobe because my clothes fell off my body to not fitting any of my clothes. But yeah, it took a toll on my confidence, the way I viewed myself, and if I'm being honest, the way that I viewed God. People were actually pointing out my weight gain, and I just felt so defeated and hopeless. From winter of 2015 to the following December of 2016, my thyroid problem became my identity. And there was this cloud of darkness and anxiety and fear in my mind. And instead of trying to pursue a relationship with God and join a good church community, I just sat around and felt sorry for myself. I blamed God for ruining my body, made excuses for my behavior, weight, and attitude, and was just miserable on the inside. I was bitter about my physical appearance and my lack of motivation to change the status of my relationship with God. 2.5 years ago is finally when enough was enough. My friends and family saw that my joy was being suffocated by my health problems, and they were concerned for me. It was God working through them that helped me out of this valley. I then finally admitted I needed to make some big changes, so I made a New Year's resolution to make an effort not to let my joy be taken by my Graves' disease, to make better choices in general, and actually allow Christ to be the center of my life. Colossians 3 verse 2 talks about setting our minds on things that are above and not on earthly things. I did start to work out again and get more connected at my church and spend time with the people who cared for me, but it was less about the working out and the caring about what people thought of me now. It was more about believing God's truth, speaking hope over my life, and not constantly believing the lies of the enemy. Throughout the past few years, I wasn't just focused on losing the weight, but also living a more joyful and Christ-centered life. Don't get me wrong, I still have so many moments of weakness. I look like the way that I look sucks, or that my relationship with God isn't the greatest. I forget his truths, or I hate photos of myself, or I feel like I need to change everything about who I am. But these things take time. Change really doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and God is greater than the ups and the downs. Each day when you wake up, the person you see in the mirror can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Some days I know that my body and my thyroid is working against me, but that doesn't mean I have to let it define me. My identity and joy need to come from Christ every day. How does this happen? Through reading his word and staying connected to the source of hope and life. John 10:10 says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and that Jesus came to give us life and to live it to the full. Reality is that I'm still not quite there. This journey of refinement will never end. Life is like hiking a mountain. Some seasons are easier than others. Some have a better view, and some you're literally treading through the mud. But God is still faithful, no matter what season you're currently in. My thyroid has been stabilized, and my medication is working for now. But the journey never ends. Recently, I dealt with a knee injury that sent me back again, and it's so easy to revert back and relive all those lies, thinking that God has it out for you, and that you're going to gain weight again, or whatever those fears and insecurities are. But this is the enemy's schemes to steal, kill, and destroy. Remember that Jesus came so that we can live our lives to the full. When we are seeking truth and building a firm foundation on what truly matters is not weight loss, my appearance, or what others think of me, but it's who the God of the universe says I am. My identity must be in God, the author and perfecter of my faith. It's a daily choice not to let my joy be taken, to press on and persevere through tough days, those moments where you look at yourself and you see flaws. Know that your value doesn't come through your appearance, but from God, the one who created you and loves you. James 1 talks a lot about persevering through trials, and this means that it's going to take work and effort, but the reward is worth it. Because when you're focused on the kingdom of God and living with our hearts and minds focused on Jesus, fear, shame, discouragement, lies, they have no place in your mind. Fill your mind with things from above, not edited Instagram photos or someone else's edited life or your lack of thigh gap. Eternal things. This is when the enemy gets trumped because your foundation is firm on the rock and your situation is not hopeless. God is not against you. He is for you through every valley, every trial, and every mountaintop. He is faithful.